There are things known, and there are things unknown. And in between are the doors of perception, and the doorways of perception are now wide open. All around us there exist worlds of the seen and the unseen. In a universe of endless possibilities, we should never limit ourselves to a single perspective. For in order to become true explorers of the unknown and the unexplained, we must sometimes take a paranormal point of view. Good evening out there. I may do the rest of this program as Mr. Anonymous. What do you think about that? Now, I've probably already given myself away. You know who I am, okay? There we go. Hello, it is I, your humble host, Dennis Carroll, and your ghost host with the most, as they used to say on some of the old horror shows. I want to welcome you all in here tonight for Paranormal Point of View, episode 56. Tonight is open forum night. What do you think about that? Now, there's not many people, not many podcasts out there do this, okay? But we're going to do it tonight. This is your podcast, okay? I want you to look at it that way. This is your podcast. I'm just going to be the moderator here, okay? And so I turn this podcast over to all of you fine people out there. Hello, Bounty Hunting Bear. Mr. Russell Allred, good to have you here, brother. And Shiro, the lovely Shiro is here. Wizard Moon, Urso, Danette. Oh, yeah, let's see who else we got here. All right, it's starting to load up here. There's Tanya. Hello, Tanya. Good to have you here. And we're starting to gather in here a little bit. And that's good. It's a cold, dark night out there. Hello, Don. Ida. Yeah, we want to spend it with an evening of some warm hearts here. Okay, definitely. And we got a lot we're going to discuss tonight. I'm going to talk to you about some movies. Yes, I have been watching movies again. Okay. And I have a fantastic movie for all of you. If you haven't seen it, you definitely got to check this one out. We're going to talk about that. We had another plane crash just a little while ago. Actually, this plane crashed in a residential area, I think, or around a mall. And there are some fatalities, I think, definitely. And this is bad. You know, somebody said something about here's another plane crash coming on the heels of one that we had before. It's almost as if somebody's trying to send us a message, isn't it? It's kind of strange. It's really strange. Absolutely. You know, this same thing happened with these train derailments you might remember a few months back. It's getting really strange here. And you know, it's kind of hard to believe. This is January 31st of 2025. We're already 1 month into this new year. What about that, huh? Absolutely. Hello to all of you out there. I hope you've had a great week. Hello, John. I hope if you haven't got a chance to please check out my show that I did with the wonderful Mrs. Chantel Mayberg on Aquarius Rising Africa. Check it out. Did it yesterday with her. It's in my library on Hunting the Shadows YouTube podcast channel. It's free. Go check it out if you missed it. We did a fantastic part 2 on the Vril Society. If you don't know what the Vril Society, you need to research this. It is fascinating stuff, and it still may be actually, I think without doubt, the Vril Society is still with us, definitely in a big way. Absolutely. But there's a lot of strange things going on in this world, my friends. A lot of dark, shadowy stuff being done in the background. And the more we know and expose the truth, the more we talk about it on shows like this and others, the better. Absolutely. We got to let the truth out. What have I said before? The truth is like a lion. Turn it loose and it will fight for itself. And that's what we need to do. Our job is to turn that lion loose. you know? Absolutely. And let him go. Want to welcome some more people in here. Come on in. We got some stragglers. That's okay. We got some late people. That's fine. I know it's the weekend. It's coming up on the weekend here and all that. I got my Jedi outfit on tonight. Yes, I'm a Jedi Master of the ninth degree. Okay. Anyway, where's my lightsaber? I got it around here somewhere. But anyway, I think we've got a lot to talk about tonight. We got a lot we're going to discuss. I'm not going to hold you up a long, long time tonight. Some podcasters can go 2 or 3 hours, which is good. Now, I will have a guest next week. At this time, if nothing happens next week, we will have Mr. Bigfoot Dwarf here with us. Hello, Ann. Come on in the house. Hello, Philip. Good to have you here, brother. And the Philly plane was a pediatric transport. Well, yeah, I heard that. Very bad. We had a transport helicopter like that crash here in my state a few years back. It was awful. Bad thing. It was about, I think, maybe 4 or 5 or maybe 6 different EMTs, and the pilot died in that. So I think it was how that went. Matter of fact, I went to the memorial they have for it in Apache Woods one time because it's supposed to have some supernatural or paranormal activity going on around it. And, I'll have to talk about that one day. But anyway, it's kind of strange how this stuff goes on like that and comes in bunches like that. You just have to wonder if like somebody's not playing with us. Like I said, the same thing happened with the rail derailments and some other stuff, and with the weird freaky stuff going on with the drones and the plasmoid type things that people have been seeing. I think we're being played with, folks. Absolutely. I think we're being taught a lesson in a way. You know what I mean? Evening there to Maria. Good to have you here. And but I know it's kind of strange. We're living in, and I've often said on these podcasts, we're living in strange days, strange times. And we got to really buckle up and watch out for it there, definitely. And be very careful how we deal with things. Hello, Potty Pop. Good to have you here, dear. Good to have you here. But this is wide open tonight. I am ready to discuss anything you want to discuss. Any questions you have, even if you want to ask me some personal questions, although I may not answer them, but you can ask anyway. It depends. That depends a lot on that, okay? And absolutely. But we are going to get into some strange territory tonight, absolutely. And hopefully next Wednesday night, I'm going to be lining up some guests. And I'm going to like to get on here one night. 2 brothers of mine that I've done several shows with, Mr. Baron DDoS and Mr. Red Pill Preacher. I think you would have we might have a forum on here one night with them, absolutely. And we'll see how that goes. I might have to set that up. I think you all would enjoy that. We have some very interesting shows together once in a while. What's my view on cremation? Well, I think that's an individual choice. If that's what you decide, from a religious point of view, I don't see a whole lot against it, religious wise. Ethically, that's, like I said, a personal point of view. Whichever way you want to look at that, I don't see if that's the way you want to be. Now, I might, I've have threatened people to have myself cremated when I die, and my ashes scattered over Walmart. So there, at least that way people will come to see me once in a while. But anyway, that just depends on how you want to go with that. How much wood will a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would? Mr. Blazer wants to know. Probably he would chuck a lot, but that depends on the individual woodchuck, Blazer. Absolutely. Not supposed to pass your children through the fire. Well, that is an occult ceremony that they once held with Baal, the god Baal, and or Baal, as some people pronounce it. he was a Philistinian god that they worshipped in Philistine and something back in the old days. So that was an occultic thing. It was an occultic ritual. In other words, what that's basically saying, you do not let your children to participate in any kind of a ritual. Cremation is not a ritual, actually. It's a dispersal of remains. But there are a lot of cultures in the world, like the North people, is what we call Vikings. The indigenous peoples of North and South America and Africa also sometimes will cremate the remains of their dead. This is nothing that's a regional thing. It goes worldwide. So it just depends on you know the personal viewpoint of that. I think. Like I say, I don't see anything biblically against it. Let me say this, and I've had a lot of people ask me that question. Say, "Well, do you think that you know, hey, Bigfoot Dwarf, I was just talking about you a few minutes ago there, see? We're going to have us a show, maybe if nothing happens Friday night. We're going to talk about what's been going on since the fires in LA. But anyway, I think, biblically, I don't see anything really talking against it biblically in that respect, you know. But there you go. But there are, of course, a lot of people who die by accidental cremation and fires and explosions and stuff like that. So you have to take that into account too. Okay, I get a little quiet now. I'm just reading your comments here. Oh, really? I hope it was good there, Bigfoot Dwarf. I got to get used to your new name. Okay. I'll just call you BD. Okay, for short. All right. That sound better? BD. Anyway, Dwarf Ray going on here. Yeah. All right. Hey, Roger Blair. Good to have you here. Yeah. We're just having an open forum tonight. Okay. This is your podcast tonight. What do you want to do? When I die, I want to go peacefully and quiet like my granddad, and not screaming like some people in his car. That's a good joke. All right, yeah. Your grandkids dressed up like old women in their 100 days of school today. My gosh, that's interesting. Uh, they're not trying to get old before the time, I hope. That's what happens when you're a kid. You keep wanting to say, I wish I'll be glad when I'm grown up. When you finally get grown up, it ain't quite as hot as you thought it was. Got a lot more responsibility with it, right? But anyway, yes, I am dressed like this because I came in out of the cold. I'm not a spy, but I came in out of the cold, okay? But anyway, absolutely. I was telling somebody that the other day. They talking about government conspiracies and stuff like that. And a lot of this stuff, of course, is conjecture. There's a lot of this stuff we don't have absolute 100% proof on. But you know what? Some of this would not surprise me. It does not surprise me at all with that. My granddaughters did their 100-day dress up also. What is not a cultist? What is not a cultist outfit? There you go. That's very much true. And it depends on how you look at things being a cult, too. So we'll look to your thoughts on the Antichrist and end times. Well, I will be doing a show with my friend, and you need to check her show out. We're doing a series on that, as a matter of fact. Russell, you need to check it out in my library. Her name is Danielle Diva Borazon. She's the Duchess. And she and I are doing a series on the Antichrist and the end times. As a matter of fact, next time she and I get together, and I think it's going to be this Sunday, I'm not sure, we will be doing the book of Daniel. Okay? The prophecies of the book of Daniel. So you might want to check that out or watch it afterwards, whatever. But it will be, hello, John Fortman, also known as Coco. Thank you for being here, dear. And I want to make sure that everybody knows I'm talking to Coco and I'm not calling John a deer. Okay. He might not like that. But anyway, here's my brother, Midwest Night Watcher. I hope he's feeling better. I think he's doing okay now. We missed you last Monday, brother. But we've got an interesting show planned for next Monday. It's going to be good. All right. Yep. Don Morris. All right. But I'm glad to have Heidi Pop in the house tonight. Yeah, that's good to have you here, dear. I like a lot of your podcasts. I'm always checking other podcasts out. I love to watch podcasts. I'm a big YouTuber. Excuse me. Got a cricket in my throat. I'm not gonna follow the cricket. Coco finished crocheting your Christmas present. Finally, we're putting it in the mail. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll give you something to look forward to here. Definitely. Thank you. I will show it off on the air. I do a little show and tell once in a while. I show some of this stuff in the museum here. And I have a lot of interesting things around. I have to do another show and tell pretty soon. Everybody liked my Civil War cannonball, actually. That's my paperweight on my desk here. You don't never drop a Civil War cannonball on your foot, okay? That's a big no-no. Don't do that. But anyway, got any questions now? Now's your chance. But I will definitely be doing that with Danielle. So check that out, Russell. You don't want to miss it, bud. It is good. The Duchess is very good with this stuff. I enjoy doing shows with her, definitely. Hello, Daryl. Good to have you here. And there's Mr. Bounty Hunting Bear. I can say that with a southern accent, definitely. There's a bounty hunting bear. That's my fake southern accent. Okay, I'm going to tell you about the movie right quick while everybody's gathering up here. The movie that I checked out a couple of days ago, fantastic movie, and I highly, highly recommend this, okay? And it is a good Christian movie, okay? It is a really good, wholesome family type movie, okay? Although it's a little dark, but not too bad. It's like the Batcave full of case treasures in the den cave, maybe the shadow den. That's it, the shadow den. Yeah, I like that. Anyway, this movie was a fantastic movie. Now you need to check it out. It's called, if you may have already seen it, but if you haven't, you can watch it on Prime, okay, and Prime TV. And it is called The List. The actual name of it is The Covenant List of South Carolina, but they call it The List. If you have never seen this movie, I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I don't want to mess it up for you. You need to watch this movie without a doubt. Remember how I told you about The Body? The Body was a fantastic movie. Some of y'all got to watch it. This is up there with that, okay? This is definitely at the top list with The Body. The List, okay? Go check it out if you haven't ever seen it. The List. That's List. The List. The Covenant List of South Carolina is what is actually, I think, original title was on it. And it is a fascinating story. Got some good acting in it. Got a great story. Don't miss it. You will be sorry if you did. Okay. All right, and don't forget that other one I highly recommend. It's the third one. They don't cast shadows. That's the name of it. They don't cast shadows. You need to check that one out if you've never seen it. Okay, so check Do yourself a favor and watch that. You won't be sorry you did. So that's my movie review for this week here, okay? I've been very busy. I haven't got a chance to watch too many movies, unfortunately. I have, when I do watch, and I think it's a trip, I love to watch it because they show a lot of the old horror movies and TV horror movies and monster movies and all that. That's creature features. I love to watch creature features on YouTube. It's free on YouTube if you ever want to tune in and watch it. And I love the horror host on there. I should have been a horror host, by the way. That's my other profession. I should have been a horror host. Matter of fact, when I was back in my younger teen years, I was a horror host on that. I did some tapings on that, and I enjoyed it. But we didn't have something like this, to do things with back in the day. We just had tape recorders. Unfortunately, it was more like an old time radio. Then, have you seen the series Evil? It's about a team of debunkers. Yeah, I have seen that. I haven't seen all of the whole series. I've seen a couple of episodes of it. It looks interesting, but I really can't, tell you a whole lot about it because I think I've only seen maybe one or two episodes of it. But I've got to check it out some more. Some of these shows, some of the guys that are writing on these shows are definitely, you have to really be careful about some of that stuff, But it's new to it. Supernatural. Oh, God. Supernatural. Been big fans of that. God, how long did that run? 12 years or something like that? I watched every episode, but it got kind of redundant there toward the end. I like probably the first 8 seasons were the best. But I like Grimm, too. If you've never seen Grimm, I think you have, though. You can binge watch it, too. Could have a movie review segment on your show where you dress as Elvira's uncle. I could do that, yeah. But I don't know how well that would be received. I'd probably be laughed off the internet. But anyway, your ghost host with the most. But I've sort of always wanted to be a horror host, definitely. I would go like the guys on Creature Features. You need to watch it. It's really funny. I enjoy just watching the host. The heck with the movie. The hosts are the best part of the whole thing. The lead guy, sort of an ex-British punker called what's his name? Oh God's last name, Vincent Van Dahl. And then they've got this crazy girl. She should really actually hook up with Cousin It from the Addams Family. Her name is Changela. She is a homicidal kind of gal. And then they have a butler who is always very reserved. His name is Mr. Livingston. You got to watch this. It's great. It's called Creature Features. Check it out. The first 5 seasons, Supernatural were the best, but the rest was worth it for the beloved character. Yeah, it was okay. I mean, I watched it to the very end, absolutely. But I think the first 5, 8 seasons, and it kind of got, I think it should have ended probably about the 8th season before they went so far with it, but I would have went out on top, definitely. But it had some very interesting writing, although sometimes I think it was very anti-Christian in some ways, unfortunately, but that's the way Hollywood goes. That's the way they roll. It had a kind of if you go back and look at it, it had kind of a very dim view of God in that series in many ways. And I think the writer of the actual series, some of them had a bone to pick with God, definitely. I'm still close to the beginning, yeah. Well, let's get started. You know that actually started when Smallville was on. You remember Smallville? Smallville was going on when that went on too. Matter of fact, what's his name left Smallville and went to Supernatural. The one who played Dean. He was my favorite. I like Dean. Hey, I have a T-shirt that says "Creature Feature" with the Mothman and Flatwood Monster on it. Oh yeah, okay, that's neat. Creature Features. Most of these monster movies, old monster movies. Dean was your favorite dude. I like Dean. He was neat. Sam was just too I don't know. He too wishy washy. I didn't like Sam. I like Dean the best. Dean and his dad. I liked his dad too. He was good too. Uh, I like the show Charmed back in the 90s. Yeah, I remember Charmed. They were worth looking at, definitely. Oh, yeah. They were the prettiest little witches I ever seen, actually. My favorite was Piper. That was my favorite in Charmed. I liked her. She was the more sensible one, you know. But unfortunately, they talked her into a lot of stuff she didn't like. I've noticed I'm seeing shadows more frequently than usual. Ooh, that's not good. When you start seeing having paranormal activity like that, you need to start trying to see why and try to figure out what's going on. You got to go back and look for the beginning of stuff like that, and that might help you understand what may be taking place. Wishy washy is actually a perfect description of Sam. I wouldn't have thought of it, but exactly right. Yeah, he's I don't know. I don't know. Too feely. I don't know what his problem was. I think he had a complex problem. He had some type of psychological complex thing on it. Was the creature features on TV when I was growing. You know, this has been going on for a long time, but then I've got a new host now. The old host died out. It's very famous in California, which is where it originally began. And actually, one of their sponsors is the Winchester House in San Jose. You know, the real Winchester House is one of the sponsors of the new one. And check it out. It's on YouTube. It's absolutely free. If you can get YouTube, you can watch it. Just type in Creature Features. That's with an S. Creature Features. And there's, I think, about like 250 shows of it on there. But what I like about it, they go back and show some kind of rare TV movies and stuff that you can't find somewhere else, you know. You need to check it out. It's really good. But it's been going on since like Creature Features has been on the air since there's been a television, I think. Since the TV, I think it goes way back to like the 50s, I believe. Yeah, I remember Paul Bear. Yeah. Dr. Paul Bear, yep. Dean had that scary disease when he was scared of everything. Yeah, I remember that, yeah. Oh, it's a new one on YouTube. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, Shock Theater was the. Oh, yeah, I love Shock Theater. Shock Theater was great. Always on Saturday afternoon. That's where I was at, watching Shock Theater. Dead of Night, 1945 is a good one. Oh yeah, Dead of Night. Yeah, that is a good movie. Yes, indeed. I tell you another good movie about that time, Philip. You might want to check out Nightfall. That is a psychological. This guy's a serial killer, okay? And this is a psychological movie, very strange, but I think it's back from the 1950s, 1940s. Check it out, Nightfall. Great movie. You need to check that out. A girl run through in the house a lot. Follow me to the new house. Huh? Oh, that's not good. That sounds like some kind of attachment. That's not good. Eartha, absolutely. Original Black Sunday in the 59. Oh, yeah, Black Sunday. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The 99, 59 edition. Yep. But check out Nightfall. It's not horror. It's sort of psychological, very suspenseful type thing. You need to watch it. It was Acre features in the one I remember. Acre creature features. Yeah. I don't remember that one. I don't remember. I remember hearing about creature features, but never watched it that much when I was young and all that stuff. We had Shock Theater, we had the Inferno, and some other things that were going on. But as kids, we didn't hang around the house and watch TV that much when I was a kid. But anyway, I remember Creature Features, but I just never watched it. But here recently, I like these new hosts. You need to check them out. They are a trip. They are funny as all get out. They are great. They blow Elvira out of the water. I'm sorry to say it, but they do. In my book, old Elvira can't hold a candle to them. Feature Acme creature features in the one I remember. I got what's that? Acre there, the ACRIE. Shannon Daughter that played Pretty Left Charlie was still a good show. It wasn't the same. No, it wasn't, Roger. It really wasn't. She was a good actress, and I think one of them did her kind of bad in real life, and of course she has passed on now. But she was a good actress. She had a lot of problems in her life. Was a window company out of Iowa that played old movies. Okay. I don't remember that. That was their sponsor. Maybe it's Acme. No, I think it's he's talking about a company. I think I don't know. But anyway, Devil's Advocate was an interesting movie. Yeah, but it was kind of yeah. I would not want my kids to watch it. Put it that way. Definitely not. It was very adult in that respect. But look who played the devil. He was excellent as the devil, definitely. But that's all Hollywood can churn out now is filthy language stuff. To me it's boring. How many times you hear the F word, F F F F F F? That's all I can say. What happened to dialogue? What happened to real plots and real writing? I don't know. It's crazy. But that's the way it goes. But that's that's my critique on it. But people now, have you noticed? I mean, have you really noticed how people are talking nowadays? Have you noticed that? The words that are coming out of people's mouths. I like to ask them, do you eat with that mouth? Come on. Would you kiss your mama with that mouth? Come on. I mean, can you understand how people are beginning to talk? You know what this is, don't you? That is the number one sign. This is the number one sign of spiritual darkness in people, my friends. Absolutely. Don't forget that. The language, what's coming out of people tells you what kind of spirit is in them. Don't ever forget that, because I've seen a lot of possessed people in my time, and that is the number one sign of demonic possession. Filthy and abusive language like that. That's number one sign. That is a bad spiritual sign. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Yes, the language is getting ridiculous. But see, Hollywood made it that way, but that's the power of the media. But that's the tool of the devil, my friend. He knows his tools well, and he uses them well. He knows how they work, and he knows how to push our buttons and get us to dance to his tune. Well, we don't need to dance to his tune. We need to tell him to flake off. Flake off and get out of here, buddy. We don't want nothing to do with you. Or none of your junk either. But anyway, I don't use that kind of language, okay? I do not use that kind of language. I don't go around talking like that. That's just filthy and disgusting. My teachers and my mother used to say that's the gutter language. That's the language of the gutter, and I don't live in the gutter. No, thank you. That's all I got to say about it. Some people will disagree with me, but that's their problem, not mine. I ain't gonna worry about it. I don't do it. That's all I can tell you. I don't use that kind of language. I don't like nobody to use that kind of language around me. You stay around me talking like that long, you know what I'm going to say? Watch your language. If you're going to keep talking like that, our conversation's done, okay? You don't have to put up with this kind of stuff, folks. Nobody's holding a gun to your head, okay? Nobody. Acme Creature Features. Now, I have to check that out there. Thank you, Midwest. I will check that out. I'll save that YouTube thing if I can. You might can send that to me on a private message with Midwest and let me check it out that way. I don't know if I can save it on here. Language, moves, and aggression behaviors. Oh yeah, it's all tied in together. It is a spiritual sickness. Don't you ever forget that. It's a spiritual sickness. It's the darkness taking over people. It's funny how people get frowned upon for not liking foul language. Well, that's just too bad. You don't like it, you don't like it. That's my opinion. I tell them too bad. You got your opinion on mine. But I'm just saying, you don't have to talk like that. You don't have to act like that. You don't have to take that kind of stuff. You still got some freedom left here, folks. Exercise it. That's what I keep talking about. I didn't like anyone talking ugly in front of his wives and dogs. No, no. You just didn't do that. People, with sensibilities and all, just don't do that. A nation is spiritually sick. Absolutely, Russell is spiritually sick. It's spiritually blind. It's being blinded spiritually to the right and good things in this world because they're embracing the darkness. Hey, Monica, good to have you here. Some people have had enough and say what they feel and don't give a, what anyone thinks. Well, if you want to talk that way and go to hell, that's your problem. That's not mine. I'm not going to, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. If you want to embrace the evil and the darkness and be like all the rest of them and go to where they're going, that's fine. You can go. I mean, that's your choice. That's your personal choice. But I don't have to put up with it around me. You know what I'm saying? That's my saying. That's your choice. Somebody starts talking like that around you, you can say, hey, you either stop at it or we're done here, okay? Because you should not have to be subjected to that. You know what I'm saying? They're taking taking your freedom away from you. That's what they're doing. They're what I call intruding on your freedom. I won't stand by someone speaking like that in front of my girls. I take after my grandma. There you go. That's a good man. Had some coworkers get into a cussing match today, and it brought them 2 days suspension. Well, good enough for them. They shouldn't be doing that in public, especially letting their anger get away from them. If you got anger issues or some type of an anger management problem, you need to get some help because that's not normal mental behavior, folks. Okay. I tell you what, we got a whole lot of people walking around out here with mental problems, and they need help with, you know what I'm saying? He does take after his grandpa, absolutely. I mean, what comes out of you, it shows exactly what's in you, okay? I'm talking about spiritually. What comes out of you spiritually shows exactly what's inside of you spiritually. If it's evil and dark, or is it good and light? You're facing a problem there. You know what I'm saying? If it's not, I'm not preaching a sermon on that tonight. Okay, I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just saying that is one thing. Have you noticed that happening? Because the world is getting more and more and more spiritually blinded to this stuff and accepting it. They're embracing the evil. They're embracing the darkness. They're embracing the shadows when they shouldn't be doing that, but they are. And that is the beginning of the end, my friends. That's it. A lot of mentally ill or affected officials. A lot of it runs across any line, John. Any line, no matter what. Mental illness can go anywhere, any race, any creed, any color, any religion, any profession, whatever. But we got a lot of people with that problem out there, absolutely. And they need help. They need to seek help on that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say about it. But anyway. But media is the biggest, sponsor of this kind of stuff. Media, Hollywood, sports. Listen to the sports. Sometimes listen to the sports and race car interviews with these guys. They don't care what kind of filthy, foul language they use on national television in front of everybody. They don't care if your daughters or son happen to be listening, or your wife, or your grandmother, your mother. They don't care. That's a total disregard for other people in my book. That's not right. For me, I'm tired of being anyone's whipping boy. Well, who's whipping on you there? So tell them to stop it. That's enough. Absolutely. Thank you there, Russell. I appreciate that $5 super sticker there, son. Thank you so much. That will help me out with the month coming up here. It's the changing of the month here. Bills are coming due again. But anyway, that's just like astrology, okay? Somebody asked me the other night what I thought about astrology. I don't think a whole lot about it myself, on my own self personally. But if you believe in it, that's your personal choice. You've made your choice on that. I'm not anybody's judge, okay? And I've said this before, and I'll stick to it again. 100%. I am not anybody's judge. That's not my job, okay? That's it. I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's up to you. But I'm just saying you don't have to put up with that kind of stuff around you. You do have your own personal freedom. And don't let anybody violate that, okay? Absolutely. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate that so much. Appreciate that, Philip and Russell. Absolutely. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. It's not real, and in the Bible, it basically says it's from the devil, just like witchcraft. Yeah, well, it's something. I'll tell you what. There's a lot of people practicing witchcraft in it. Just take a look on TikTok. This TikTok that we all seem to love so much is full of nothing but witchcraft. That's all it is. You can't click 4 or 5 times, you run into a witch doing something. Okay. Well, I'm not going to be like Jesus. I'm not here to condemn the world. I want the world to be saved, but you got to call out what it is for what it is, But that's their own personal choice. You want to be a witch? I've known a lot of witches. I had a good friend one time. This is a witch, okay? I've known a lot of witches. I don't hate them. I don't hate the person, although I may not like the sin. I don't hate the person, okay? But there one thinking in their private ATM, the ones wouldn't let me grieve when my wife died, kept bothering me and one trying to use me to take everything I have left they haven't took. Well, you got to fight back sometimes, or so absolutely. You got to push back. The best defense is an offense, okay? That's the way that goes sometimes. And if people start trying to take stuff away from you, fight back. Are you warm enough, Dennis? Not yet. I'm getting there, though. I tell you what, I've been taking some blood thinners, and I get cold now. I mean, it doesn't take very much to get me cold. The witches are starting an Instagram now. Oh, they get their own Instagram. They're still starting on Instagram. They're going. They're taking over everything. I told you that before, several shows back. Witchcraft is increasing 100% in this world today, more than it has ever been active in this world before. Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah. But here's the thing about it. When you go to certain other things, not just astrology and all these other things, but when you start putting those things in front of God, you got a problem. Okay? If they start interfering in your relationship with God or your worship of God, or even if you acknowledge God, and witches don't acknowledge God. They don't believe that there is a God. Like you and I do, okay? They believe in a different set of gods. They believe in a bunch of gods, not just one, okay? But it reminds me of that Bible passage. You believe there's one God, you do well. The devils also believe and tremble. Even the devils, the demons, the fallen angels, they know there's only one God, okay? But anyway, if you start letting things like that, whatever it may be, it can be pornography, it can be gambling, it can be smoking, it can be whatever it is that gets between you and God. That's not good. Okay, whatever it may be. That includes people, whatever the situation. It's not good. Okay. When death comes, people get ugly. I'm going through some of that, just tired of it. Yeah. Well, when somebody dies, there's always fighting over their stuff. Like, we need the stuff, right? And God, Ursa, yep, there you go. Lean on your friends here and God, Ursa, that's the best way. Pray, Ursa, that's the main thing. I'm going to tell you something, okay, Ursa? Pray, pray, pray. Prayer, real prayer, earnest prayer, heartfelt prayer, humble prayer gets things done, okay? Trust me, I've been there, I know. It gets things done. I ain't gonna say it gets you everything you want. I said it gets things done that you need done. That's the will of God. Just like I said earlier, I don't judge people. That's God's job, not mine. I'm not gonna try to take God's job, okay? I'm not here for that. I don't judge anybody. If somebody comes up and tells me that they're a witch or a wizard or a warlock, I don't hate you for it. I'm not going to hate you for it. You're a child of God. You may be a lost child of God, but I don't hate you for it. I may not agree with what you believe in, but I don't hate you for it. Just like tonight, we're all here talking. This is your podcast tonight. Now, don't forget, we're all here talking. And if we disagree, that's okay. We can agree to disagree. Okay, without hating each other. That's not good. I don't care what the situation is. I was disgusted with how people act and the things they did. Well, that's people, but that's on them. Okay, don't you worry about it because that's on them. You don't have to answer for that. That's the main thing. It's not on your ticket. You know, I don't hate them either because I'm one time I too was lost. We all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, Monica. All of us. Okay, all of us. All of us have done stupid, dumb things. Okay, that's us. That's on all of us. We've done that stuff. Okay, and none of us are perfect. None of us are not sinners. We're all sinners. We need God, and that's the unfortunate thing. Some people are fighting back against that, though. You know. That's just like right now tonight, Monica. You can say you're here right now by the grace of God. You know that? And you can say, well, I fought it myself. Yeah, but he gave you the strength. He gave you the grace you needed to fight back against what your own personal devil was trying to do to you. You know? I'm losing my place here. I got some people talking to me here. Hold on a minute. One big district family here. Yeah, we can agree with that tacos rule. Yeah, well, that's good too. I like to have a good taco right now myself. My dad was on blood thinners before he passed away. You get cold even in the summertime. Oh, yeah, that'll get to you. Good evening, Jason. Scott, good to have you here, bud. There's finger number one. Yeah. Dwarfy taco pizza. That sounds interesting. I might could go with that, definitely. Yes, Monica says amen. Absolutely. And that's what I said the other night on that show I did, about angels, earth angels. God don't have to send angels sometimes. He sends certain people into your life to tell you or to help you or to give you the strength that you need to do the things that need to be done. That's the way God works. He uses people. Isn't that wonderful? He uses people, the weak vessels. He can still use us to do what he wants to do. That's good. If I'm going to ever be used by anybody, I want it to be God, okay? I know I'm blood thinner, but I'm anemic, so I get cold easy. Yeah, well, that kind of works on your blood, too. Yeah, definitely. You taking iron there, Monica? Women need a lot of iron. I have to take out a little iron, too, yeah. There's Mr. Scott is in the house. Yeah. But yeah, definitely you won't take iron because of osteoporosis and all that stuff. You definitely want to do that. I do take a multivitamin. Okay, well, you might want to look into some more supplements there if you're still getting anemic. That's not good. That'll make you feel tired and depressed and everything else. So you need to kind of work on that anemia. I'm off work now, just driving home. Well, that's good. That's good. Be careful out there. It's always good when you're going home. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, Monica says, yeah, it's bad. Bad stuff. Yep. Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden? Well, there's Werewolf. Hello, Werewolf. Good to have you here. Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? But I guess when you talk about bad language, some people they get mad about it. I want to talk the way I want to talk. So, that's their own personal choice. But like I say, you don't have to let them do that around you. Okay. We can be civilized about it. Sweet pea. But like I said, this is your podcast tonight. Now you better be speaking up here. You're running out of time here. Better get with it here. Oh, it's 9:50 p.m. on there. So you got any questions, any observations, anything you want to talk about now? We're wide open tonight. Wide open. Wide open. What are your thoughts on doppelganger, lookalikes, clones, and stuff like that? Well, that is one of the handy demonic tricks that the demonic likes to put on people. Think about this. Wouldn't that be a neat way to do? Say, if you want to do somebody's doppelganger and send them somewhere to do something bad, and they get blamed for it. That's not good, you know. And another bad thing is you get blamed for something you didn't do, and you can't prove it because everybody says you did it. You know? That would be a bad demonic trick, would it not? Think about it. But doppelgangers have been around for a long time. Doppelgangers I had a doppelganger case one time where that was very strange, but it was very demonic-like in that respect. But there is another part of the doppelganger thing that says maybe you have a mirror image that something out there can look like when it wants to. I put something on Facebook a little while ago, and here's what it says. If something knows your name that shouldn't know your name, definitely don't answer it. Let me repeat that again. If something knows your name that shouldn't know your name, definitely do not answer it. Okay? Be careful about that. But there have been a lot of cases over the centuries of doppelgangers. And sometimes I think it can be something like a psychic projection of you, an emotional projection of you that goes out sometimes without you even knowing about it, to do things if you got something on your mind or you're in a very bad traumatic situation or something like that. Many cultures repeat that wisdom not to answer when your name is called. Absolutely do not do that. That's not good. You know, even my mother, when I was a little kid, used to say that, you know. She says, if you hear somebody call your name, don't answer it. Even if it sounds like me, go look for me. She said, come look for me, but don't answer. I thought my husband wasn't him. I wasn't his wife either. We both realized, looked away, and went different directions. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. I thought that my husband wasn't him, man. I don't trust it. I trust AI, but if no one controls it, Satan does. AI is already demonically infested, Russell. You can bank on that. Absolutely. You're not feeling well, going to bed. Well, I hope you get the feeling better there, sweet pea. Have a good night, dear, and we'll remember you in our prayers. Absolutely. We're gonna have a word of prayer at the end of the show here. We'll put you in there. Did your mom have a lot of paranormal experiences? Yes, she had a few. Yeah. Matter of fact, I have to talk about them sometimes. She actually saw one time, and my mother was not a person she was a very practical person, you know. But of course, all Southern people have a affinity for the supernatural. Okay, that's just kind of built into our framework, all right. But she was very practical. She was not one prone to hallucinations or imaginations, whatever the situation, or daydreams, whatever you want to call them. She was a very practical person, but she had a few incidences. They remember I might have mentioned that one about the witch that turned into a big black cat that lived next door to him. She actually one time saw a ghost light in a cemetery. She told me about that. There was another time that she actually saw a man in the sky. She saw a man in the sky, which was sounding very much like an angel type incident. I have to talk about it sometime. But she was a very practical person. But all of our Southern mothers, they knew about stuff like that. They were aware of it. It's part of the Southern culture. The supernatural runs deep and far into. Ask Jessica, she knows all about it too. My friend Jessica Jones, she could tell you that real quick too. It runs deep and far and wide in the Southern culture. Definitely know what I really thought about the paranormal until I seen my first UFO in 2017. Huh? Yeah. Well, let me give you a quick definition, Monica, and all of you listening out there. We interchange that word paranormal and supernatural, but they're actually two different things. Okay. The paranormal just simply means above the normal, something beyond the normal. Supernatural means way above the natural. It means supernatural. They're two different things, you know. You got to look at them that way. And then you have what's called high strangeness. And high strangeness, the third category, even above all this, it is stuff of very deep unknown origin, you know. And matter of fact, I got a list I'm gonna share with all of you tonight. I don't know if you'll be able to see the list too well. Let me turn this light on here for just a moment. There's a little list, and I'm going to be doing very soon a lecture on monsters. I don't know if you can see this list very well, but I'm going to have to read it to you. These are the classification of monsters. I'm gonna throw it at you right quick here. An MOHO, that means a monster of human origin. Then you have an LIM, which is likely a interdimensional monster. Then you have an MOUO. I'll send anybody this list who wants it, by the way. You have an MOUO. That's a monster of unknown origin. Then you have a MOM, a MOM. That's a monster of myth. Then you have an MMM, which is a monster of a manifested monster. Okay, that's what that is. And then you have an MDO. That's monsters of demonic origin. Then you have an MON, a monster of nature. Then you have an AM, which is an alien monster. Then you have a PM, which is a prehistoric monster. And then you have MU, which is monster unclassified. That's an unclassified monster. Okay. So there are different types of monsters, my friend. And it's a very interesting list. I'll have to, so I was on the phone. Okay, Penny. Got any Japanese folklore monsters on your list? Oh, I know a lot about them, but I don't have. They are well. They go into the myth category, I think. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into that one now with a lecture. It'll be something for you to look forward to. Put in all that on the list. She is terrifying. She's a mom. Well, she's already on the list here. That's an MOM. Okay, monster. It's an MOM. Okay, that's a monster of a monster of myth. Yeah, that's a mom. Okay, okay. But anyway, watch out for those monsters. Okay, as a monster hunter, I got all this stuff classified. All right, different classes, classifications. But anyway, we'll get into that one. I just wanted to throw that on you for fun, see what you thought about it. That's the different types of monsters you might run into. When having ashes, does the ashes become? Well, when having ashes, does the ashes become of orbs? You might have to rephrase that, Penny. I quite didn't get that, dear. When having ashes, does the ashes become of orbs? Japanese culture has always been a hobby. Oh, you like that, eh? Yeah. There's a lot of interesting monsters in Japanese culture and Chinese culture, too. Definitely. I like the were tigers myself. Well, moms can turn into monsters when they need to, Russell, by the way. That's a mom. That's a mom talent they got, okay? Looks like Benny got auto corrupted there. Yeah, I think something happened with her auto spelling their thing or something. The dead loved ones. Oh, I think she's asking, did the dead loved ones appear as orbs? Is that what you mean? Well, I have known orbs to be sometimes manifestations of spiritual energy. But if the orb has a intelligence to it, Gerald and I have talked about this a lot. Gerald Fountain and I have talked about this. If they become, have an intelligence to them or go around things, and you got to look at it slightly different way. There are different types of orbs. Okay. So it depends on what the interaction of that orb is, what it's doing, what it looks like. But don't believe that about people saying they got faces in them and all that. That's imagination. Orbs do not have faces like that. Okay, and they don't have different colors means different things. You're reading a lot of stuff into something like that. It may not be, but orbs do occur, and they do occur naturally sometimes. So there are different explanations for them. The orb showing up with the ashes are getting your attention. Okay. If there's something, if you're talking about you've got ashes, you're talking about you've got somebody's remains and orbs are showing around them. That's not really good. There's something going on with that. And I want to tell you something. It's really, I have found, and I'm not telling you what to do here, okay? I'm just giving you a little bit of free advice. I don't like to give advice because people don't appreciate advice, okay? They never take it anyway. And you get in trouble giving advice. So I don't like to give advice, okay? Unless I'm asked. But and I'll tell you this right quick. It's not, I would not want to have a dead relative's ashes in my possession. I think those ashes need to be laid to rest. If you have someone's ashes, they need to be there. So it's not good to have orbs and shadows around them. That's not a good sign. There could be some type of a demonic manifestation thing going on too. You got to look at it from all different sides, Penny. But if you got something that may be causing this, then that's what you got to look at. Have you brought something in lately, or have you done it? And it could, if you've got some remains and ashes, I have found over time that that's really not a good idea to keep someone's deceased ashes. Okay, it's good to either disperse their ashes what they wanted, or you can take them and have them interred in a cemetery. You can do that. It would be better to do that than to keep them around. I have a very famous case. I'll have to talk about it sometime. I might tell about that on my next video I drop for the members only. But I had a very famous case with a witch's ashes that ran into. What do you think about ashes of loved ones being compressed into diamonds? Is a fairly new thing. I heard about that. That's another. I just that depends. Look, let me put it this way. Okay, demonic spirits are known to hang around deceased bodies. They do that. Okay, because they have some kind of weird spiritual attachment to those bodies. And I would not want someone who had a spiritual attachment, a dark spiritual attachment, wearing them on my finger. That's not a good idea. To me, I just, that's your own personal choice. I wouldn't do it. Okay, that's just all I can tell you. I wouldn't do it. Should I bury ashes so orbs will disappear? Well, that would be my suggestion. If you want my advice, that would be my suggestion. You need to put those ashes to rest, but now you can have them interred in a cemetery. They have certain. I don't know if you know this or not. Places like Forest Lawn and some of these other cemeteries, they have a special place for ashes. By the way, you could look into that and see. It's okay, no problem at all. And if you have any problems with that, please contact me. You can contact me at DennisWCarroll.com anytime. Okay, that's the way you can contact me. Number one way, DennisWCarroll.com. I'll put that up in a little while so you can look at it. Do you think ashes of pets are different? I think, yeah, in some ways, yeah. I mean, that's kind of different on a different level. You know what I'm saying? Because animals very seldom have attachments. Put it that way, okay? Animals very, very, very seldom have spiritual attachments. It's very rare, very rare. They have a different spirit than we have. They have a spirit, they have a spiritual side in them, but they have a different spirit than humans do. Cremate me, throw me in the woods. Okay, you can do that too, yeah. Throw me in the woods to hunt cryptids. John's gonna get back one last strike at those cryptids, man. Bigfoot say, "Whoa, look out! I think I stepped in somebody." Experience, even if you bury or release ashes, orbs, shadows can still appear. That depends if it's haunting the place. Bounty hunting bear. Yeah, it depends on if the haunting is attached to the place or to the ashes or to both. It can go either way. With that very interesting case I had, it was both. It was both. It was the ashes, and but you got a trigger to some of this stuff too. You know. Hey, little Kilroy, good to have you here. Thank you there, Gerald. I'll put that up for everybody to see. That's how you contact this old guy here, okay? That's DennisWCarroll.com. Okay, that's really remembering. I got to put the W in there though. Okay. I had to put a W in there because there's another famous Dennis Carroll. And I'm not that famous, by the way, but he is. He's a football player in Australia. So I didn't want anybody to get me confused with him. He probably makes a whole lot more money than I do, definitely. Absolutely. But that Dennis Carroll, I think, is retired from football now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm keeping the ashes. If you keep the ashes, you might not solve your problem. You need to think about it. Find out for sure if it's not your place first before you do anything with the ashes. But I mean, that's entirely up to you. But if you're seeing shadows and orbs, that's not good. Something's going on, and something is causing that, and you need to try to figure out what it is, and then address that problem. If you don't mind, whose ashes do you have, Penny? By the way, if you don't mind telling me, then do I have a preference of try? Well, see, the Patreon had to go up when they paused my membership. That's entirely up to anyone out there. If you want to join the Patreon, you can do that, or if you want to join the YouTube member thing. Either one, that's entirely your own personal preference. You don't have to belong to both if you don't want to. No, that's entirely up to you, which way you want to go. But I have no preference on that. But the Patreon was there because of what they did to me the first time. They paused everything. And can people be haunted then? I've seen orb shadows and other stuff my whole life. You can be haunted. You can also be very sensitive to things and just happen to see these kind of things. Some people are more sensitive than other people. That's just the way it goes. They see these things, they experience these things because that's just their very nature. Women are more sensitive than men are to these things. Yeah. True that when you have visions, when shadows, is it true when you have visions when shadows show up? What kind of vision are you having with these shadows? Shadows usually are, I hate to say this, most of the time they can be a sign of the demonic. Not every time, but I'm saying sometimes, that can be the situation too. Well, what kind of visions are you talking about here? I think you need to contact me about your problem there, Penny Edwards. And we need to talk about this, I think. Would be a good idea instead of doing it over the program here. Like you can contact me. I have a way to contact me through DennisWCarroll.com. It will go straight to my email. Okay, there's a thing on there. You can contact me and send me your phone number, and I'll happily talk to you. Okay, I do that with a lot of people. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. I do that with a lot of people. I counsel a lot of people on these things. So do that. Okay. Do you have a preference? Let's see. Wait a minute. I'm reading something. So I've lost my place here. But we will definitely discuss that, Penny. Absolutely. But anyway, yeah. I hear some crickets out there. We're running out of time here. A few more minutes left. Any more questions, observations, anything you want to say? I'll put some things up for some people here, okay? This is the we have a PayPal. You might want to donate to PayPal. That's our PayPal, okay? That's where you send to that address up there. That's PayPal. And then we have a Cash App. If anybody wants to make a donation, we have a Cash App. That's Dr. Shadow Hunter. $sign Dr. Shadow Hunter. And that's the Cash App, okay? And then we have the this is the .com and the Gmail. Either one you can reach me at is fine, okay? And if you need to talk to me about anything like that, believe me, I'm here for you if you need some talking about that, okay? If you need somebody to talk to about that or whatever the situation, I am here for you, okay? The Patreon, I've got it on here. There it is. That's the Patreon that she was talking about. But then we can also, if you don't want to join the Patreon, you can join the membership if you want to. And that's the membership right there on YouTube, Hunting the Shadows, okay? I just want to put that out there for everybody that's wanting to know about it, okay? Okay, did you or Dad have paranormal experiences? I think he had a few. Yeah, he had a few. I'll have to talk about that sometime. But he had one with my mother. He was with my mother when they saw the ghost lights by the cemetery. I'll have to tell that story one night. It's a very interesting story. But my father was a very practical kind of a man too. He just didn't, but like I say, that belief runs deep in the Southern culture, definitely. Everybody knew something about things like that. What about people blood types changing? Any info on that? I have heard that there are supposedly. Here's another thing I want to talk about. I'll mention that, and we won't get into it tonight because that's a long story. May have to do a show about it. But think about not only your blood type changing, but what about your DNA changing? And you may say, what? But there are supposed ways to do that. And there are certain things out there that can do that. Change your very DNA. That's freaky too. Not only changing your blood type, but changing your DNA. Think about that, bounty hunting bear. That is weird stuff, man. Ann said itself for Russell, everybody's kind on here. Uh-oh, Russell. You're in trouble. Uh-oh, no, the mom monster. Okay. Thank you, Russell. It's a great show. Don't forget to like and subscribe, everybody. Thank you so much. This retiring on 6 income, everybody, it helps a lot. Please subscribe and donate if you can. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it does help because, like I do have expenses. Okay, absolutely. Unfortunately, I wish I didn't, but I do. Everyone is kind. Okay. He says he loves you, Mom, and she loves you too, Russell. Okay. All right, let's shake hands and leave friends. Okay. But anyway, mRNA does that. Yeah, mRNA does that. Yeah. There's some other stuff that's supposed to be. I think they're experimenting with our DNA, folks. Okay, that's just what I was alluding to. I think they're messing around with our DNA, and we don't know it. Okay, that's part of the main conspiracy I've talked about so much before. The demonic conspiracy in this world. That's creepy, yeah. But that's the way it goes. Hey, here's something to think about, Bounty Hunter Bear. What if they're changing our DNA and turning us into reptilians? Think about it. Maybe the reptilians are trying to turn us into reptilians. And one night, real soon, I'm going to talk about my encounter with the reptilians, okay? One reptilian that I encountered. You may want to stick around and hear that story about that. Lady in a black veil, head to foot. She was solid. When I moved out of her way, she came about 2 times. I heard these legends about a lady in black, huh? That sounds interesting, Eartha. Well, like you're living a haunted life there or something. That's like in Lovecraft with the fishmen. Yeah. I think they changed mine on purpose. The surgeon wasn't normal. Oh, I'd like to hear about that sometime, Bounty Hunting Bear. Definitely. Shadows of Innsmouth. That's it. Yeah, something like that. The Shadow over Innsmouth. I think that was the name of it. That's a great H.P. Lovecraft story. It's a Southern legend. Oh, okay. I've heard. I think if that's not the one where Johnny Cash sings that song, "Long Black Veil," that was supposed to be inspired by that story, and that how does it end? Uh, when they hung him for a murder he didn't commit, and she walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me. That's the way that goes, yeah. CRISPR knowledge dangerous and easily accessible now. Bounty Man Bear. Research that. Yeah, that is rough stuff. I like the lurker and the threshold, the lurker, the threshold, yeah, or something like that. That was a good one, Ursa. Yeah, they made a movie about that. I saw the movie. I can't think of the name. What was the name of that? The lurker, something was the name of the movie. It lurks or something like that. There is a demon called a lurker too, by the way, and I think that's where H.P. Lovecraft got that idea. All it's beginning to look a lot like Fishman around that story in Christmas. uh, We're beginning to look like reptilians and all that. There actually have been some people who have reported their skin turning scaly, and we're not talking about a skin disease here. We're talking about their skin actually peeling off, and underneath there would be some like reptilian skin under there. What's going on with that? Huh? Strange days. All right. We are living in strange times, my friend. Absolutely. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight and that I like to have an open forum night every once in a while and turn it over to you. This was your show tonight, okay? Absolutely. And I appreciate you all being here, your support. I appreciate your financial support. I appreciate your time and effort to be here. Please, we've crossed the 1,500 subscribers threshold. Yay, let's celebrate here, okay? Absolutely. We crossed that a couple of days ago. We're reaching for the stars here, okay? We're reaching up, we're heading up. So tell your friends about this podcast and about all the other ones I do, and check us out. And please show some love to my friends like Danielle Diva Borzon. Check her program out. The Cryptid Hunters, Jessica Jones. She has an Etsy shop too, by the way, War Woman Goods. Please show her some love. And my good friend Gerald Fountain and his lovely wife Jane. They have a show, Piercing the Veil and Night Owl Lounge, and she has a music channel, I think, also. So they're there, and they have a store. So please check them out when you get a chance, okay? Show them some love and send them some subscribers, okay? and some of my other friends too. And of course, Bigfoot Dwarf. Please show him some support. And please check out my good friend Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Check him out. And outside, I think it's the outside the box. Check them out. If you have any questions or anything, and please go check out my good friend Shanti on Aquarius Rising Africa. Please check her out. I think I'm going to schedule to be on there again next week. Maybe with part 3, we'll see on the Virtual Society. We got deep into this freaky stuff, folks. Freaky stuff. But I want to thank every single one of you out there, for every single one of you, for being here. You all mean the world to me. Okay, you all mean a lot to me, and it's so good we can get together and touch bases and talk and have a enjoyable time. We're not trying to kill each other and at each other's throats, and that's the way it should be. Absolutely. We are for all friends and family here. This is your podcast. I told you that, and I always mean that. That's the truth. This is your podcast. You will always have a voice here. Okay, don't ever forget that. They're not going to stop this signal if we can help it. Okay, absolutely. So I appreciate you all so very, very much for your kindness and for being here, for your support. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if you came in late and you missed the show, please go check it out in the library. Okay. Thank you, Russell. I can use all the prayers I can get at this point in time, folks. Absolutely. So please remember me in your prayers. Let's say a quick prayer right quick to end our session with the night, okay? Dear Heavenly Father, we humble ourselves before you, and we come before you tonight in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. We ask that you see his blood upon our hearts, and that you listen and look favorably upon our petitions. I ask you tonight that you bless, and sanctify and keep each and every single person listening to this broadcast tonight. I want you to be real to them in a special way. Show them your strength, your power, your peace and protection in the days to come. Give them the discernment that they need. Open their minds spiritually. Open their souls spiritually to your divine power and guidance. We ask this tonight. Most humbly we pray. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ and by the blood of Jesus Christ, we ask that your will always be done, Father. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, we humbly pray. Amen. All right, I want to thank you all for being here tonight, and I hope God blesses you all very much, and that He will continue to bless you. I hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead. Go do something fun, even if it's just going out shopping or something. Go out and go do a little something. Get out, get your mind off some stuff here, definitely. Okay, and like I say, Penny and all the rest of you, definitely out there, anybody that needs to talk to me, please. Come see me at DennisWCarroll.com. It only takes about a minute. We'll hook up and we'll talk, okay? Absolutely. Won't cost you a dime. I don't charge for any of that, okay? So I appreciate you all so much. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. And don't forget, Monday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Gerald Fountain and I will be going with you down the road less traveled, okay? Absolutely. All right. We're going to have something I'm not going to give the cat out of the bag right now, but we're going to have something very interesting to talk about Monday night. So be there or be square. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you all so very much. And until we get together again, bon chance. And remember, the truth is like a lion. Turn it loose and it will fight for itself. And I wish you all the truth will be real to you all, definitely. And Penny Bradley is a guest on Beyond the Box right now. Oh, okay. Beyond the box, huh? All right. Well, I appreciate you all so very much. And thank you so very, very much for being here. And until we get together again, Godspeed.
I walked in a room cold as the tomb. Ghosts whispered secrets of doom. Eyes wide open, felt the gloom.